Hello, Guardians. Welcome back to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and I'm here by myself tonight. Josh is out at a thing for a wedding, and we've missed a few shows. We don't mind missing shows. I mean, for the most part, but we've missed quite a few shows recently. So I just wanted to make sure we got something out there for you guys. I know that especially for Tower Casuals has been very, we'll say the content has been sparse recently just because, I feel like Destiny is kind of in kind of autopilot right now. And it just isn't, Destiny isn't kind of full of life because people are either focused on Marathon or playing other games or trying something else out for now. And it's cool. It's okay. It's cool. We encourage people to play other games. We like playing other games. I've been playing a lot of other games, but I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that for a second in terms of Tower Casuals and Destiny 2 and just kind of where we're sitting. Obviously, the delayed June update is coming soon, maybe if it doesn't get delayed again, but there's not really a whole lot going on until then in terms of news. Yeah, there's events, obviously Guardian Games was happening and people got mad at Iron Banner a couple weeks ago. But in terms of like real tangible news to latch onto, right? Like there's not really a whole lot going on with Destiny. I went to play it the other night actually, and there was like this it had been so long since I played, like it just there's a massive update. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I don't know why this is so large for updates being delayed, but that's cool. It could have just been like, I don't know. I also had a lot of other things to update to because I haven't been playing a lot of Xbox lately, and that's where I play Destiny primarily. So yeah, I just I don't want people to think we're just like going away or anything. I just there's not really a whole lot to talk about and say, except for like, there is a commander challenge going on right now, but I think a lot of people, we were talking about Marathon for quite a bit, and I don't want to harp too much on Marathon right now because I'm not playing it like super hardcore, honestly. Like I'll jump in a couple times a week and just kind of play and mess around in the sandbox, and I'm not like doing all of the hardcore things like trying to get into cryo archive or doing rank stuff or anything. But yeah, I just I do miss Destiny. I miss Destiny in the way that we all used to play, and I really do. And I know a lot of people in the Discord are still playing, right? Like, I mean, obviously that's a lot of people like Destiny is still like one of the only games or like the game they play, right? It's not like they dip in and out and play, 500 other games and then try to come back, right? Like a lot of people, especially a lot of people in our Discord, Destiny is one of the only games that they play. So it's not like Destiny is dying from that perspective. It's just like, man, how do you, when all these Destiny podcasts started ending, I don't know, probably around Lightfall, I guess, right? Like, I'm like, man, maybe even after the Witch Queen came out or whatever, right? Like, I'm just like, why are you guys ending? And it's like, well, when you try to do even us trying to do this every other week has been challenging, right? Because there's just nothing to talk about. So it's been a challenge trying to have a Destiny podcast while we're trying to do other things, and it's just been really strange to not have things to talk about in terms of Destiny. It's just weird. It's weird not being able to talk about Destiny. It feels like my old show, my old Destiny show when Rise of Iron came out, and then there was just like nothing between the raid coming out and then like they had a small, spring update, right? But then it was nothing until they did that kind of super raid thing before Destiny before Destiny 2 came out. And so this kind of feels like that, because at that point on my old show, we were like, oh, well, what do we talk about? Do we expand into other games? And so we started talking about games like The Division and Overwatch. And, one of my co-hosts was really into Dark Souls. So we talked about that a little bit. And like, yeah, I just, there are a couple things I do want to hit on before, obviously this is going to be like a pretty, I would say, short episode, especially because I'm by myself. And again, I don't know how, I feel like I've said there's nothing to talk about more times on the show than Destiny said anything about things that are happening in the game tonight. So let's talk about some stuff. I want to hit on this story from Paul Tassi over at Forbes. This rumor came out about a little over a week ago. I don't know how true this is, but considering the I don't want to say the major popularity of Marathon, but I want to say the strong engagement with the player base with Marathon, that it looks like more devs are working on Marathon now than on Destiny 2. And so I'm just going to read some of this article from Paul and kind of go from there. And if I have something to say in between some of these paragraphs, I'll say something, right? It's not a very long article, but here we go. Marathon continues to try to retain and attract players, with Bungie launching the game a month ago, and Sony is eyeing to see if it can break PlayStation's recent live service curse. But Bungie's primary live service game, Destiny 2, is fading quickly with a lack of updates, and it may not surprise you that Destiny 2 is not, in fact, Bungie's primary live service game anymore. Or at least it's close to a tie. My sources at Bungie confirmed to me that while previously Destiny had a fairly significant edge in devs working on the game, now of the 800 or so remaining Bungie employees, it's now more evenly split, with Marathon now edging out Destiny by a bit. Though obviously the two games share some amount of logistics support within Bungie. Previous information on the original split from a combination of comments from Joe Ziegler and reporting from Jason Schreier, who said that after layoffs and cancellations, about 300 of Bungie's 850 employees were working on Marathon, with 550, the clear majority, still working on Destiny 2. But at the launch and now post-launch, those two sections of the company have drawn neck and neck. Getting Marathon some momentum is obviously the large priority for Bungie at the moment. The issue that's pretty clear to players looking at both games is that Marathon is a game with 4 maps and 6 classes currently, while Destiny 2 has previously sustained by a constant stream of PvE content and at least formerly PvP content, which fell by the wayside much before this, with much of the team heading to Marathon a long time ago. Man, this text is really small. I can't even, I guess I could zoom in, but I'm almost done now, so I guess whatever. Development on Marathon, despite its size, may be much harder than it looks from the outside, but compared to the previous scale of Destiny 2, it wouldn't have been close. Destiny 2's PvE content has dried up for months now, and there's another month and a half before anything of significance is added to the game at all in its mid-season update. But after that, there's still at least 3 more months until the Destiny 2 smaller expansions. Well, at least we're assuming such, as expansions still exist, given the almost lack of communication for a long-term future of the game. The news that more and more resources and personnel are switching to Marathon may not be a bigger shock, but this is the first time I can confirm such a change compared to the last we heard about this. The question now is if more will move over, or one. Let me start that again. The question now is if more will move over, or once Marathon settles, it will swing back towards an attempt to revive Destiny 2. But the idea that around 400 people can sustain Destiny 2, a game that used to have almost the entirety of Bungie's 1,000 plus employees working on it at some capacity, feels like a reach. And it sure seems like we have even less than 40% of the content we used to get at Destiny's peak. The future of both games is not yet clear. Destiny 2 was supposed to press forward with the new, smaller expansion mid-season update model, but that is obviously running into significant issues, even just in year one. Marathon will continue patching and working on future seasons with new maps, runners, and all important microtransactions. But with a rapid departure of players, it may need to make significant changes to draw less hardcore players in. So they have actually made some changes to Marathon since this was written on April 22nd. As of this recording, it's April 30th. You'll hear this on May 1st. So, 9 days, they put in some kind of casual game modes that are actually pretty fun. But we'll talk about that in a minute. All of this feels like it's on a knife's edge, and we'll see what comes over the next few months. So, I mean, Marathon is obviously the game that Bungie is pushing, right? It's their new game. Destiny, one way or another, it has seen significantly less players, right? It's not a secret. I'm not saying the game is in bad shape, in terms of the game itself, but the lack of player base, the growing kind of word of mouth popularity of Marathon. I would actually say the simplicity of Marathon from a design standpoint. It's not an RPG. You're not really grinding to the exotics to keep, right? Like it's you're not. It's a class-based shooter, right? It's not an RPG, right? So there's some significant design changes there in terms of Marathon compared to Destiny. Destiny also has a much bigger, I don't want to say production value because that sounds like Marathon doesn't have production value, but cutscenes and story moments and a ton of voice acting and characters that you need to keep up with and Marathon doesn't really have that, right? It's the kind of almost static character kind of animations when you complete a contract and you get those cutscenes with the voices, right? Or they're almost like terminal screens that are very aesthetically comparable to the game itself, right? Like they're very digitized. It's if you play Marathon, you know what I'm talking about. I'm also running on like 3 hours of sleep last night, so cool. So I apologize for any kind of my eyes are like I've taped them open because they're so tired, everybody. Marathon is just a different style of game that seemingly obviously it's a game that they've worked really hard on, right? But I think Destiny is, when you look at them side by side, I think it's clear that Destiny is a much, in terms of scale, right? In terms of what that game is a much bigger undertaking than Marathon is on paper, right? And when you used to have 1,000 plus people working on this game, and now you have about 40% of the studio now, which is less than it's probably like about 30% of the studio that was working on the game around the time the final shape was being developed, right? So like, it's hard, man. This is hard. This is I don't envy Bungie for trying to keep up both games. Like, I don't envy that task whatsoever. It's got to be hard. It's got to be really difficult to do that. And like, I almost wonder if PlayStation is going to intervene at some point, and they're going to either allow Bungie to have like a support studio to help them with Destiny, right? Like Destiny, what's the game that spun? What's the team that spun out of Bungie that is working on Gummy Bears? What is it? Team LFG, I think is what it's called, right? Maybe you have like the Santa Monica XDev team that was working on stuff, or I don't know what you do. Sony has a support studio too, right? Team Valkyrie, that's their name, right? I don't know if they closed them down or not, but Sony seems to be closing everybody down left and right these days. But overall, I think Destiny is in a strange place. I want Destiny to succeed. I think what they should have done, honestly, I think what they should have done after the final shape is like, we have this roadmap to tie up some loose ends. Maybe we'll tease what's coming next, right? Obviously, the episodes were that, but like, looking back on it now, I know Josh and I were very split on this, but I would have ended Destiny 2 and waited for Destiny 3, right? Like, and I know it's easier said than done, and I know Sony owns them now, so they have obligations to Sony now. But like, looking at it now and how the Edge of Fate and Renegades has gone, and just the lack of updates and even the lack of communication, right? Like, which again, it's not really their fault they're not communicating. If there's nothing to communicate, then why, you're not going to spend time writing a TWAB that says, well, there's nothing to communicate, right? I just don't think you're going to. But at the end of the day, what I think I would have done if I were, and again, I'm armchair developing right now, right? Is I would have, kind of wrapped the episodes up with a teaser for what's next, right? Obviously, the Fate saga is going on right now, but like, I would have held on to that and actually held that opening, Edge of Fate for Destiny 3. They essentially gave us Destiny 3 anyway, the way they kind of reset everything, right? Like, you were allowed to, obviously you could use all your weapons, but like, they had, what were they called? Like the select weapons, like, you were allowed to move forward at the way the game was moving forward, right? And then the rest of the weapons were kind of like semi-vaulted, right? Or like, I can't remember the terminology, but there's that weapons kind of an armor thing going on, right? When they introduced the tiered stuff, and I still just think they should have just put that in Destiny 3, man. Like, as much as like, this ongoing game is something everybody's chasing, like, Destiny 3 would have been a nice clean cut, right? Or like, even like, maybe you don't even number the next Destiny. Maybe you just call it Destiny : Edge of Fate, or Destiny 2, whatever, or not Destiny 2. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't even number it. You just kind of subtitle it and send it out. That way, like, you can draw on new players while older players may know that it's a sequel, right? I don't know. It's just I don't envy the spot that Bungie is in, especially with everything that's been going on the last 3 or 4 years right over there. But I think this is the right move for them, though, because Marathon is the new the new hotness, if you want to call it that. I know numbers are kind of not where Sony wants them to be, but I think the engagement numbers, like the way players are engaging with the game, I think especially the type of game it is, right? Extraction shooter is not exactly like, it's not exactly Fortnite style of casual, right? I think you have to look at expectations and the type of game it is and say, oh, we did pretty good, like it's never gonna be Arc Raiders, right? Like I haven't played Arc Raiders. I don't know how that game works. I know that it was kind of popular for a while. I think it might still be popular. But at the end of the day, like, this is your new game. You got to support your new game. And if it's becoming more popular, right, you're going to put more resources on it, and you're going to take people off the less popular game. That's just how the that's just how the development works. So, again, I don't envy Bungie at all. I think they're in a weird spot. I'm glad Marathon seems to be somewhat successful for them. They needed this win, right? Especially after all the stuff that happened last year with this game. I really like the game. I think it's well designed. I think the character designs are cool. I think the kind of overall narrative with Marathon, it depends on what happens when they reset at season 2, right? It just depends on that. If they can get people to stick around after season 1, or they can get a bunch of new people in season 2, you introduce a new runner that's really has some really cool mechanics tied to it, has some really cool move sets, looks cool. You introduce, or you bring in new skins. I don't know. I think Marathon has the ability to be, a mid to long term game for Bungie. It could also just be like a holdover until the next, whatever the next Destiny is, right? Like if they even go back to Destiny, I mean, I don't even know if Destiny they want it. Maybe this current team doesn't want to go back to Destiny. Maybe they like Marathon. Maybe they have something else incubating that we don't know about. Something else I think would be cool for Destiny is for them to like tell, and they don't use your Guardian, but maybe go and make $30 or $40 campaigns that you can play through as the other characters and learn about their stories, right? Obviously, I think that'd be cool, especially because like maybe you could use the environments that we already know, right? Like, I don't know. I think that would be kind of neat. Maybe you use the Destiny 2 kind of launcher to fold these stories into, right? Like almost the way that like Assassin's Creed does or Call of Duty does, where you kind of go into the Destiny 2 launcher, and then you can either play Destiny, or you can go to like these legendary Guardian stories or whatever, and you can just play through those. I don't know. Obviously, again, I'm armchair developing and trying to figure out ways for Bungie to kind of be more creative within the franchises that they have going on without mechanically breaking the game or something, right? But I love Destiny. I really do, obviously, but I miss playing it the way we used to, but it's not the same game anymore. And I think I kind of feel like we need to accept that it's not the same game, and that's okay, right? I mean, it's Destiny changes all the time. Games change all the time. How many times has Fortnite changed? How many times has Fallout 76 or Halo or Final Fantasy 14 changed? I mean, gosh, look at Final Fantasy 14. They literally blew up the first version of the game and remade it, and it's part of the lore, which is cool. And also like I don't hear enough people talking about Destiny Rising either. Like, what's going on with that game? Like what I see people saying, like, some people online who are playing it are like, man, this game like feels like the game Destiny should be now. And it's like, it almost feels like it's set up like Warframe, right? With like, a smaller experience, but like dedicated fan base, So, but yeah, I just wanted to touch on that kind of, the devs are moving over to Marathon, and I want to see, I'm really intrigued to see what this next expansion is, because we don't really know a whole lot. Like, there are 2 expansions left in the Year of Prophecy, right? One is the the Alchemist, which is the 4th one. I don't remember what the 3rd one is called, but like, I'm really intrigued to see how that works and what they're doing with it, and how this Fate saga kind of continues, because the stories they're telling are awesome, right? I think it's obviously just like the extra content, the in-game content, the after the campaign content, whatever you want to say or do or call it, right? Is the stuff that's missing. So, anyways, I'm gonna run through the TWAB real quick. It is not very, it is not very big, right? It's definitely small, right? Like, I haven't even scrolled yet, and I can already see like the recent issues kind of banner going on. So, this week we're going over the current goal of our community challenge and adding a new reward to reach for. Commander's orders. We're going to go over Commander's orders progress update, a new unreleased emblem to earn, ooh, and activities to explore this weekend in Destiny 2. So this Commander's Orders community challenge, I saw this kind of floating around the other day, and I didn't really know, like, because honestly, I've been really tuned out of Destiny for the last like month. And I didn't really know this was going on, but I'll just read it because I'll just read it. Guardians from all over the globe have come together to take on the most recent community challenge. It's been amazing to see how fast you've all banded together to arm yourselves and take the fight to the Vanguard's enemies, and you've blown the initial target goal out of the water. At the time of this article, you've defeated more than 21 million enemies already to earn the Commander's Salute emblem shown below. It's pretty cool emblem. But this second emblem is the 50 million. The community goal is 50 million. Is pretty cool too. It's like this purple and gold kind of globe looking thing with a cool gold star looking thing. So, but we're not done quite yet. Because of how amazing you are, you all have been doing. Man, I wish I could read right now. I'm so tired. My eyes are glossing. Like, you know how sometimes you're so tired that everything just looks blurry and fuzzy, and no joke, guys. Guardians from nope. Wow. Didn't even I started over. That's how tired I am. But we're not quite done yet. Because of how amazing you all have been doing, we've decided to add a new emblem to earn with an extra goal. For reaching the new community goal of 50 million PvE enemies defeated using Zavala's selected weapons, you'll earn the Gold Stars emblem shown below. Everyone who's contributed to the original goal of 15 million kills using Zavala's selected weapons will earn the Commander's Salute emblem shown above. Additionally, whoever helps getting to 50 million by using those weapons will earn the Commander's Salute emblem as well as the Gold Stars emblem. So here are the weapons that you need to contribute to the challenge if you are interested in jumping in now. The Mint Retrograde Micro Missile Frame Pulse Rifle, Unfall. That's what that says, right? Yeah, Unfall. Jeez. Mida Macro Tool. So that's the new Mida Synergy Frame shotgun, which is cool. Hawthorne's Field Forged Lightweight Shotgun. SIE Eternia 4. Horror's Least and a Good Shout. So those are the weapons you need to use to contribute to this challenge. You get these cool emblems. That's super cool. All right. Excuse me. Here are the activities kind of going on currently in Destiny. Again, this is it. So the community challenge, obviously, we just talked about Commander's Orders. Crucible Portal playlist is Lockdown. Crucible Legacy playlist is 3v3 Quick Play and 6v6 Clash. 3v3 Lockdown, sorry. Grandmaster Vanguard Alert. Warden of Nothing, and the reward is a grenade launcher. Cool. And then May 1st through 5th, obviously Trials of Osiris is going on. It's on Javelin 4, and the weapon you get is the Immortal. So there you are. There's your TWAB. That's it. Recent issues, the triple laureate hand cannon is missing firing audio. That sounds bad. Players who still have the Legacy Anomalous Object quest cannot complete it. This quest does not block progress through the New Light experience. Does not have associated rewards and can safely be abandoned. The Veiled Haunting Sleeves ornament can come into a player's view when using certain weapons. Actively being in Transcendence will prevent Spirit of Galanor from refunding super energy. Tempest Strike cannot be used while a Renegade ability jammer is active. So there's also a full list. There's a Destiny 2 known issues and a vital information article that tells you all of these things. So that's cool, but that's it. That's the TWAB, man. I mean, like I said, I've barely been recording for a half hour and we're already done. So that's it. I think that, I think getting this out of the way, there's a lot of Xbox news to talk about. So getting this out of the way so we can talk about Xbox on Xbox Casuals next week will be beneficial for Josh, I think, just because, there's a lot to talk about, and getting this out of the way is just, good for everyone. But I wanted to at least get, some Destiny news out there, just because, I know that there is a dedicated following to this show, and I want to make sure that we are serving the audience right, because, like you guys, I love Destiny, but I'm also very frustrated, and I know that, like, when I expect shows and they're not there, I kind of get sad. Not like crying sad, but maybe I get crying sad. Who cries over a podcast? You know what I mean? Anyways, there's something else I wanted to say too. I don't know. I'm out of stuff. I have been playing Marathon, which has been fun. But I'm kind of like in this weird space where, like, I'm in this space where, like, I just don't kind of feel like playing anything, which is weird, right? Like, I'm tired. There's a lot going on. Been really busy at work, really busy at home. I don't know. I'm just kind of having a hard time finding a game to play and finding something to stick with, like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling games right now. I don't know what it is. Just kind of in a funk, but it's okay. I'll get out of it. Well, we all do, right? We all kind of go through those phases where, like, man, I don't really feel like playing games right now. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Touch grass, as they say, as the kids say. But that's it. That's all we're gonna do for this episode of Tower Casuals. I want to thank you, Guardians, for watching and or listening. If you're interested in other content, you can check out the Boss Rush podcast. I was also on the Iron Lords podcast this past week, and that was really awesome. Shout out to Cog and King and Sov and Addict and everybody. It was an awesome time. We talked a lot about the stuff that's going on at Xbox. So you can check that out. It's also on the Boss Rush YouTube channel. You can check that out over there or on their channel. Obviously, more of you would probably subscribe to them than Boss Rush, but yeah, it's been a good week. Look, I wish I had more to talk about, guys. I'm sorry. I really do. I wish we had more to talk about. But I appreciate everybody who listens to the show. I appreciate everybody in the Discord, even though I haven't even opened Discord in like 4 months because I've been, not to make this some sob thing, but I've just been going through a lot of stuff right now, and I've just been kind of, I've just been out of it. So, it's cool though. I would like to check in more. I'm going to start. There's just been some things I have to, deal with. So, everybody out there, you guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for, supporting each other. A lot of stuff going on in the world right now. A lot of stuff going on in people's lives that you may or may not know about. So just always support each other, always be good to each other. Kindness goes a long way. So yeah, just thank you guys for listening, supporting us over this long stretch. We'll be back next week, probably with an Xbox Casuals, unless Josh really wants to talk about Destiny, which, to be honest with you, we're probably going to do Xbox Casuals next week. And then Josh's birthday is the week after, so I'll probably be back with another solo tower Casuals if there's stuff to talk about. But anyways, everybody out there, thanks so much for watching or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.